BBN, Jack Frost, what's up, party people? I hope everybody doing good today. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. There's a couple of things that we want to talk about today. Obviously, we want to talk about the Juice WRLD situation, but I don't just want to talk about it inside of just the fact of what happened to that young man. I also want to talk about it about how it affects the world. You feel what I'm saying? And when I say the world, I'm not talking, believe me, this is not hyperbole or anything like that. But you got to understand that the hip hop affects the world. You understand what I'm saying? Um, so we're gonna talk about that. Let's go through our regular morning stuff. What's up? The hell is this? I gotta refix this. All right, we back. I had to. Long story. This widow shit. Let me wipe this camera one time. As you all know, I was just a little bit late today. So I want to apologize about that. Also, don't like the clarity of this camera at the moment. Um, Hope that's looks a little bit better. Anyway, there's a couple of things that we want to go over. First thing I want to do is say what's up to everybody. What's up, Straight Ballin'? How you doing today? Who we got? Easy Living for Life. What's up? What's up, James S? Lambo. How you doing, Lambo? What up, Big June? Let's talk about it. Good to see you up in here, my brother. I said James S, right? What's up, Shay Lacey? What's up, Gordo? Haven't seen you in a minute, my fam. Hope everything's doing good over there. What's up, Kenneth O'Leary, Jenny Lozano? Shout out to Straight Bowling for the donation. He said, remember, guys, we're all winning. We woke up. That's a whole fact. What's up, John Shelf? New York. I'm just going to say New York. What up, Patrick N? Tyree Lynch. Hilda, how you doing this morning? What up, Tiffany Marie Ferry? What up, Ray Ann? How you doing this morning? Who else we got up in here? Alan Crispin, Brandon Hargroves, Prince to Amir, Mum Rider Living Dead. How you doing? What's up, Rel King? We all got to blame. No. I'm gonna explain something. I'm gonna explain something real quick. There's a lot of things. A lot of things that I talk about on this channel that I've been talking about for months now, and in some cases years. And one of the things I've always been talking about is, why is this camera looking... I don't know why my camera's blurry. Why is my camera blurry? And one of the things that I've always been talking about is how the music industry, the mechanisms that they put in place to manipulate these children. When I say these children, obviously I'm talking about these young rappers that's coming into the game. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, give me a minute. We're going to take a minute to get to that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this Juice WRLD situation. But we're not going to talk about it the way that they want us to talk about the Juice WRLD situation. The way that they want us to talk about the Juice WRLD situation is they want to pretend like a lot of these individuals aren't in on it. If you don't think a lot of these rappers aren't in on sending our kids down the wrong road, then you don't know no better. If you don't think a lot of these organizations, I'm not going to call no names because I'm not trying to speak negatively about no no company in general and specifically. But if you don't think a lot of these people don't have a hand in putting out artists that they know have drug problems, that's gonna make music about you and drugs, that's gonna think about it like this. We have artists that came out making what up, Fishlow? We had artists that came out making music about raping women. You don't think that somebody put a bug in somebody's ear to like, this is what y'all gotta understand. Like, there's a lot more going on than I think people understand or recognize. Anyway, we're also gonna be discussing R. Kelly and R. Kelly's ex-manager specifically. We're gonna be talking about, and his ex-manager's name is Dimitri Smith. We're going to be talking about Dimitri Smith also. But the thing that I want to lead off, I want to lead off on a much more cheerful note. I want to lead this live off on a much more cheerful note. And before we get to any of that extremely sad and upsetting stuff that we are going to discuss, I want to discuss something else that's going to take a couple of seconds. And the thing I want to discuss is, what in the hell happened to Brother Nature? Oh, man. What in the hell happened to Brother Nature? Does anybody know what happened to Brother Nature? Does anyone in here know what happened to Brother Nature? I'm curious. What up, Rio? What up, Bree? Anyone? I'm going to tell y'all a quick story about something. Going to take 2 seconds. So, the other day I was walking around in my neighborhood. I run into somebody I know, but I don't know that I know them because I only met them one time. So they's like, yo, what's up? So I say what's up because I say what's up to people. And then I keep it pushing. I go about my business. That person actually works for my brother. So then my brother contacts me and he's like, yo, you saw JB the other day. What happened? And I was like, that was JB? Because when I saw him, he had a hat and everything on. And this time when I saw him, he just didn't look the same. So I only seen him one other time. So I just didn't recognize him. And this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say about the Brother Nature situation. When you're a recognizable face, it's important for you not to be out there talking crazy. It's important for you to not be drawing attention to yourself. Because what's going to happen is this. There's people that think whatever it is that you do, that isn't difficult, isn't hard. Whatever it is that you do, there's going to be a ton of people that don't think it don't mean shit, it ain't difficult, it ain't hard, anybody could do it. Right? And even though they might not want your spot, they're going to think you're living the life and you're not even working hard. They don't know what kind of work you do behind the scenes. They don't know what kind of concessions you got to make in your life. They don't understand none of this. So when you're a recognizable face and you out in public, one, yes, you should be on your guard. 100%. You should be thinking about self-preservation first. And two, you should not be outside trying to antagonize individuals. Period. Over nothing. And from what I've seen, it seems like Brother Nature was trying to antagonize some people. We don't know what led up to it. Maybe something happened before that also. Maybe he just had a problem at this particular establishment. I don't have the slightest idea. But look, homie, you didn't get jumped from what I see. It was one person. It was one person. And that guy didn't even look like he was a tough guy, to be honest with you. So if you're going to get beat up out here in this world, at least get beat up by somebody that know how to fight. Don't get beat up by somebody who don't know how to fight. Because that shit sucks and that looks bad. Anyway, I just want to comment on that right there. Brother Nature. Shh. Oh, one more thing I want to say about this. When you are known to be a nice guy, There's gonna be people. I don't know if this will happen in Brother Nature's situation, and I'm not saying that this is what happened in Brother Nature's situation. I'm just talking about something that happens. When you're known to just be a nice guy, there's gonna be people that's gonna do fuck shit to you. And then when you get upset, they're gonna say, see, he's not a nice guy. Nice guys get upset too. Just because somebody's a nice guy, that don't mean that they should always allow anybody the opportunity to walk all over them. You feel me? Because I had some people do that to me a couple of months back. Do the dirtiest, grimiest shit in the world to me. And then once I say anything back to them, they say, see, I told you Frost ain't a nice guy. Like I'm supposed to just be there for them to just dog and disrespect. You feel me? So that's what people are gonna do to you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't even want to give no more energy to that. Period. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna let those people go. They internet imprint go die off on its own. I'm not giving that no more energy. But I just want to explain that this is what you run into, the problems that you run into when you're a public personality. Either I have to be the type of individual and I have to say, yo, you come in my face, I'm gonna put hands on you, and I don't even want to carry that energy, or I gotta be the type of person that is just gonna let you walk all over me and treat me like I'm garbage or shit. And we shouldn't have to live like that. Nobody should have to live like that. Some people are just evil, so they think that you have to live like that. Did I set my watch? That's it. Anyway, now we're gonna talk about the because everybody here to discuss Juice World. Let's talk about Juice World. There's a couple of things that I want to say about this. What up, Big Hub? There's a couple of things that I want to say about this Juice World situation, right? The number one thing I want to say about this Juice World situation is, yes, it came out that the person who got him, introduced him into lean was Future. Future actually owned up to it. Don't be fooled. Don't be tricked. Do not be fooled. Do not be tricked. Future most likely did not own up to that because he felt guilty. It's not why Future most likely owned up to that. Most likely Future owned up to that because that was the plan. This is a 21-year-old man, right? 21-year-old kid, right? Literally has a song talking about how his kidneys are malfunctioning. How long did you think he had to live? Drugs are destroying all communities, Jason B. I'm going to take this comment off. I'm not penalizing you for it. But drugs are destroying all communities. Not just the black community. So we're not going to discuss it in that manner. We're going to discuss it as what it is. Drugs are destroying all communities. And not for nothing, but opioids isn't the biggest users of opioids in America aren't even black people. Ding, ding, ding. No disrespect to Juice WRLD. No disrespect to Juice WRLD, but if you look into his audience, what do you think the majority of his the people showing up to his concerts are? I think the majority of the people showing up to Juice WRLD's concerts are minorities? They're not. Anyway, with that being said, we need to stop acting like these guys that's making this music out here, that's making this, like, okay, so this is what I mean. People complain and argue that real hip hop don't exist anymore. That's not true. Real hip hop is just underground. It don't got no choice. Pop music is not hip hop. I'm not trying to bash these guys that make pop music. I'm not. I'm just actually stating something I believe to be fact. Pop music is not hip hop. It's a hybrid of rap music and other stuff, but it's not hip hop. Hip hop is part of a culture. Hip hop is not just the act of rapping, but it's what you do with the words that you use. So, if you have a song out there that is explicitly about how much drugs you want to use, I don't care what kind of beat that song has behind it. I don't care who's singing that song. That song is not hip hop unless it's a song about weed. Weed is the hip hop drug. Period. I mean, realistically speaking, I guess if you smoke crack, that's also a hip hop drug, but that's for a bad reason. These opioids are not drugs that are for hip hop. They're not. These opioids aren't drugs that are for anybody. Let's just be honest with you. But these opioids drugs is not for hip hop. Period. If you're drinking lean, lean is not hip hop. Pills is not hip hop. All of that is pop music shit. That's popular culture shit, not hip hop culture shit. So take this into consideration. They want us to think certain things are normal. I feel bad for the families that are the Caucasian families that live in these little cities and towns, and it's infested with opioid abuse, because you have your child and you're trying to raise your child in these little towns and it's infested with opioid abuse. I feel just as bad for those families that live in those towns that want their children to do the right thing and trying to send their children on the right road. I feel just as bad for those families as I do for the minority family that lives in the hood. And they got people in their family strung out on crack, strung out on dope. I feel just as bad. It's just as upsetting. You know how they reaching our kids now? I'm going to tell you what the gateway drug is. The gateway drug ain't weed. The gateway drug is music. That's the gateway drug. Music. You know how many individuals right now who are strung out on some kind of drug and they were introduced it through music? You want to know what they was using lean for back in the day? They were using lean to get chicks hooked and throw them out on the strip. That's what lean was used for back in the day, down in the South. They go get them girls, young girls. They get them strung out on heroin, on that lean, and now they can go put them right on the strip.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Wasn't talking to you. Oh, so Texas is the only person, Deshaun Ragsdale, that's in the South? I had no idea. I guess Texas is the only place in the South. And there's a reason why they used to call lean pimp juice. No, but Deshaun Ragsdale, you're 100% right. If it didn't happen in the South, then it didn't happen anywhere else in Texas. Coincidentally, they call lean pimp juice. Y'all do know this, right? They do call lean pimp juice. Is anybody else? Show of hands. Anybody else ever heard lean being referred to as pimp juice? You have heard lean being referred to as pimp juice. You have not heard lean being referred to as pimp juice. A smart person would not ever consider drinking lean. That's a fact. Pimp C said it all the time. Thank you, Rio Martinez. How is my statement not factual? Because you know what? I'm not kicking them, but I don't feel like having to talk about this for 20 minutes just to be right. The majority of the people in here have heard lean be referred to as pimp juice. And in addition to that, people already know it. It's not a secret. So I just put him on mad timeouts. You can do what you want to do. You ain't get kicked. You just got put on a timeout. I hate when people say because something doesn't happen in their life, then it can't be true anywhere in the world. What the fuck is wrong with you? And because it don't happen in your life, it can't be true nowhere in the world. Get out of here. Pimp C introduced it to hip hop. He was a hookup for rappers getting it back in the day. Pimp C. Coincidentally, that's the first time that I heard about the drug lean was on a not a documentary, but it was on a news report when they was talking about how people were using it in the South to yeah, we don't call people gay. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Peace. Yeah, Pimp C passed away. If you say lean is no good, folks turn on you. Look what happened to Russ. That's why so many people don't like him. Just because he said stop the lean and pill use. That's how much kids brainwash. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree that we live in a society, and this is the number one. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. Well, there's a couple of different problems, but I believe one of the problems is people don't understand free will. I don't think people understand free will, and there's a couple of reasons why I don't think people understand free will. And one of the reasons is that people keep coming in here and keep talking about freedom of speech. This is my channel. I don't care what it is. If I don't want you saying something in my channel, you can't say it. Um, shout um shout out to TMZ. I'm just receiving something right now. It says TMZ puts up allegedly pop pills before seizures. Feds find 70-pound marijuana. Damn, that's a lot of marijuana, man. 70 pounds. Shout out to TMZ. So hold on, this shit was in his luggage? He was in a private jet. He flew to Chicago, was loaded down with 70 pounds of marijuana, and cops say people on the plane told them the rapper had popped several pills prior to suffering a seizure. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ the FBI confiscated the huge stash of weed from several suitcases that were on board the flight. We obtained this photo of the marijuana and luggage in the private jet terminal at Midway. According to law enforcement, several members of Juice's team aboard the flight, which landed around 1 a.m. Sunday, told them Juice had taken several unknown pills prior to the seizures which led to him getting rushed to the hospital. Further, we're told one of Juice's associates told authorities the 21-year-old rapper has a Percocet problem. Our law enforcement sources say a bottle of codeine cough syrup was found on the plane. Juice's cause of death having been determined. The Cook County medical examiner has conducted an autopsy on Monday. Two men, Chris Long and Henry Dean, were arrested for possession of handguns. We're told officers recovered 3 guns in total. Dean was released without bail, and Long is out after posting $1,500 in bail. It goes on to say, $1,500 in bail. Something is skipped, but it says, furthermore, we're told one of Juice's associates told authorities the 21-year-old rapper. Okay, Cook County, 2 men. Okay, so that's the end. Yeah, they're trying to make drug use seem normal. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it like this. Well, nah, he wasn't on his Rollo shit. I don't think he was trying to sell them 70 pounds of marijuana that they found on that plane. I don't think he was trying to sell it. With that being said, with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if all of these rappers flying around in private jets aren't carrying drugs from one place to another. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of these dudes are not making as much money off of their music as you think they are. 70 pounds of weed? That's a lot. That's crazy. Okay, yeah. That whole message can't go through, my dude. Oh, and by the way, I literally seen a documentary. Not a lie. I don't know how many of y'all like watch like news coverages, but I literally see. I think it was like on Channel 2, and they talked about how guys actually were giving the females the lean, and then using that to get them to need a habit, and then that's how they was getting them to turn tricks and go out there on the street. I'm not saying it happened in every single state. I'm just saying it happened in the South. Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't want to put that on a dead man that he was transporting drugs to sell it. If you want to put that on a dead man that he was transporting drugs to sell it, fine. I just don't want to do it. So no one knew how to help someone seizing. Sheesh. No, he suffered the seizure after they unboarded the flight. He didn't suffer the seizure on the flight. He suffered the seizure after they unboarded the flight and they was already in the terminal walking. That's when he suffered the seizure. Um, I think they need to start covering. I think health class needs to be mandatory in school, and I think that like how they was trying to get people to stop having sex by showing them all the diseases and the most disgusting stuff that from. I think that that's what they need to do. They need to start showing people the organs, a healthy organ and a sick organ in school. I think that we need to start letting people know, especially like kids in general, that they need to stay away from these drugs. These drugs are not good. Like if you want to smoke weed, okay, whatever. If you want to drink alcohol, okay, whatever. But we're talking about drugs that you can't go a day without using. You can't go a day without using heroin. You have to use heroin every day. You can't go a day without using that shit. I mean, like if you got a real alcohol problem, real alcohol problem, you have to drink alcohol every day too. That's a fact. But like if you are alcoholic, you have to drink alcohol every day. That's absolutely 100% a fact. But you can use alcohol and not be an alcoholic. Once you use heroin, it's a wrap. That's you. All right, we're talking about real stuff, and you busy trying to talk about coffee. So I'm gonna put you on a timeout. I hate when people do that. We're trying to have a real conversation over here about somebody that passed away, and somebody just came in here and talked about coffee. Kind of. Could we get some clocks and get some hourglasses, please? I put somebody on timeout. The hell? We over here talking about somebody that passed away from a possible drug overdose, and you got an individual that come in here and actually talk about coffee. You see how stupid people are? That was stupid. Come on, man. A dude passed away, and you in here talking about coffee? Facts. 3 or more days in a row taking opioids, and now you hooked. Man, I don't know what to say. Um, I think it's a shame. It's an absolute shame that for whatever the reason is, now in our culture, drug use is just normalized. It's just normal. Um, It's just normalized. It's just, I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna tell you how serious I am with not taking shit like Percocets and all that. I accidentally put a chainsaw through my leg. Hold on. I should show you my leg. See right here? I accidentally put a chainsaw through my leg. I went to the hospital and they gave me pills for the pain. I didn't take them. I was too scared that they would give me something and give me a habit. You understand what I'm saying? Because they giving people habits nowadays. I was too scared they was going to give me some kind of medicine and I was going to get a habit. So I just said, you know what? This shit is going to hurt for a while, but this shit is going to work for a while. Do you have to curse every time you talk, D. Will? I was like, yo, this shit is going to hurt for a while. Oh, yeah. I also went to work the very next day, by the way. Like, the very next day, I went to work. I think it happened on a Sunday, and I was at the hospital, like, all Sunday night, most of Monday, so I missed Monday, but Tuesday I went back to work. I know a lot of hood dudes that know how to speak without cursing. You think using profanity makes you hood? I'm not even getting into that conversation. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't taking no pills. I just told them I'm not taking no pills. They gave me the pills and they gave me the pills. They didn't give me a thing like I was at the hospital. They gave me the pills, sent me home with them. I ain't take them shits. I did not take them shits. Good job, sewing my leg up. I'm getting out of here. Okay, you just want to argue. We're not doing this. Peace. Can we get some bags for Mr. D. Will? No, I'm not West Indian. I'm not Jamaican. I kicked him. I kicked him. I kicked him. We're not talking about that guy. I kicked him. Anyway, he got hit with his bags. Can we get some bags? Yeah, I wasn't. I was. I don't even know what kind of pills they were. To be honest with you, that's actually the point of the story I'm trying to make. I wasn't even sure what kind of pills they were. I just wasn't taking any pills. I don't know if that's genius, Tiffany Marie Ferry, or a terrible thing to do. It might be genius. Tiffany Marie Ferry says she told her kids that they are allergic to narcotics. and she says she's gonna make them believe that for as long as she can. We can leave the SHIT word out though. So yeah, so let's get to the whole idea of Future saying that he put dude onto this. Not for nothing. I want to say, please don't be sending me fucking hate mail in the middle of my damn video. This is something that I want to say, right? I want to say this. You want to know the weirdest shit about Future? There was a rumor going around a couple of months ago. I don't know how true this is, but there was a rumor going around a couple of months ago that Future don't even drink lean. Appreciate you, Tiffany Marie. So let's think about that for a minute. A dude that doesn't use a drug making songs about the drug that he doesn't use, encouraging other people to use the drug, and now he himself saying that he put a person on to the drug that ended up dying from possible use of that drug. Think about that for a minute. Shout out to my son. Shy Murder said, "Oh no, he said that, Frost. My son posted the clip and went clean off." So this dude Future is out here convincing people to kill themselves in a manner that he doesn't even do. That's like these female rappers out here that convince women to have a hot summer, right? Hot girl summer, but while they busy laid up with their man they married to, and they ain't fucking nobody part of me. They ain't sleeping with nobody but him. They out here convincing all of these females out here to have hot girl summers, but they in whole relationships with families. The only difference is what Future's doing is actually getting people killed. Think about that. Think about that for a minute. He don't use lean, but he makes a lot of songs about lean. From what I hear, I don't really listen to Future music, so I wouldn't know. He makes a for everybody that don't know. There's a lot of rappers. There's a lot of people who are considered to be artists that I don't listen to their music. I think a lot of people's music either isn't just for me, like um Takashi's music just isn't for me. But I don't think Takashi necessarily makes bad music. He makes a certain type of music that a lot of people gravitate to. And not for nothing, I run into a lot of older people that fucking love Takashi. Just so you know, I run into a lot of people like in their late 40s, early 50s, even in their 60s that loves Takashi's music. It's phenomenal. It just doesn't make. They don't care he's snitching. All right, just to make the point. So just because I'm saying I don't listen to a person, that doesn't mean that I think their music is bad. I'm just trying to say that that vibration might not be for me. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't listen to Future music. You understand what I'm saying? No disrespect to Future, but I don't listen to his music. If I listen to a rapper or whoever make music, and it seems to me like you're just talking about drug use, that's not for me. Yes, it's a weekday. You could comment on the weekdays. If you want to comment, you could comment on the weekends too. All you got to do is become a member. Hey, what's up, Armin? Enjoy your day too. Look, if you're talking about so there's some trap music I listen to. All right, so I listen to Pusha T because Pusha T's talking trap music, but he's talking about empowerment more than anything else. He's talking about taking control over your situation, being your own boss. That's what Pusha T is talking about. I heard a song from Juice World the other day where he talked about something, his kidneys is bad or having bad kidneys. He 21 years old. He 21 years old. How is your kidneys bad? You see, the record industry, they don't care about none of these kids. Because, you know, they only want you to have a 2-3 year run anyway. Then they want to get on to the next. Money Miles said what Future's doing is wrong. If he's doing that, but as adults, we got to be accountable for our own actions. That's a fact. This boy was 21 years old. How old do you think he was when he met Future? 21 years old, you still impressionable. Don't you know some 21-year-olds? Impressionable as shit. Stop thinking just because somebody's 21 years old that they're an adult. Just 21 years old is not an adult. I'm not going in on you, by the way, Miles. I just saw your comment and just decided to reply to it. That's all. So I hope I'm not upsetting you. But yeah, 21 years old is not an adult. The new gateway drug is music. Don't let nobody trick you. Don't let nobody convince you different. Music is convincing people to go out there, have sex, catch STDs. Music is convincing people to use all type of different drugs that they probably didn't even know existed. Music is convincing people to run out there and have gunfights and shootouts with each other. Music is the gateway drug of gateway drugs. Music is the new MK Ultra. First of all right, so I'm going to put y'all on to something. One of the main reasons why I don't listen to everybody's music is because I think some of this music that they putting out there is meant to fuck with our brains. When I want to be in a certain mindset, I listen to certain type of music purposely. It's a whole fact. When I want to be in a certain mindset, I listen to certain type of music. It's not just the hidden messages in it, although, yes, music does have hidden messages in it. But it's also the vibration and the frequency it lets off and how that affects your vibration and frequency. Like, if a person who's already gonna be have a person who's already, you know, their mind and in the way that they carry themselves and the energy that they have, they're already pliable or liable to do some kind of negative BS to somebody, right? Then they listen to positive music. They're gonna have a confusion. You understand what I'm saying? There's gonna be confusion inside of them. Now, if they listen to that positive music enough, their frequency can change. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you got an individual and they're just negative, an effed up individual, now they're constantly listening to positive music, their frequency can change for the better. That's a fact. Now you have a person who's actually a good person and they're constantly listening to all of this BS that's out there in the world. Their frequency will change. That's a fact. One of the main things I think people need to stop doing is allowing their little kids to listen to some of this music. I got something I wanted to share with y'all real quick. Hold on. They out here killing your kids, man. They out here killing you. Well, not you, but they out here killing your kids. They out here purposely sending messages to your kids that's going to lead them to self-destruction. Just wanted y'all to see what I'm looking at first. And when I say self-destruction, I don't only mean drug use. I mean just self-destruction in general. Little Snoop passed away at 18. Juice World passed away at 21. Speaker Knockers passed away at 19. XXS Tentacion passed away at 20. L.A. Capone passed away at 17. Lil Peep passed away at 21. Lil JoJo passed away at 18. Capital Steez passed away at 19. Jimmy Wapo, I don't know, I hope I said his name right, passed away at 21. That's crazy. At this point, I don't care how talented your child is. If your child makes music, stay as close to them as possible. I'd rather if I had a child that was trying to make it in the music industry, I'd rather them not make it than have to have some of these problems that these guys have with these drug addiction and everything else that's going on, because it's crazy. I don't think Future should go to jail. I don't think they've ever put anybody in jail for introducing somebody to drugs. That was I don't know. 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 No, but what I'm saying is that this is what is happening. Period. We're losing people earlier. If you wasn't here earlier, I was speaking about not just through drug use, but I also spoke about through violence. Like we're just losing people. Period. Whether it's through drug use or through violence or whatever it might be. You have people in Chirac setting up appointments to have shootouts with each other. That's crazy. You have people in Chirac setting up appointments to meet each other to have shootouts. What in the hell? I want to take a quick break real quick to thank the people who are members of this channel. I just want to take a real quick break for 1 second. I want to thank everybody who's members on this channel. I want to thank everybody who's part of the BBN gang. I want to thank everybody who are bag swingers. And I want to thank the one person who carries bricks in their bags currently. Shout out to Straight Ballin'. You guys are helping to build the foundation of, helping keep the channel alive. I appreciate you guys. That's a whole fact. Anyway, real quick, for anybody that was looking to become a member, you could become a member on the page. You should see this button right here that says join. You hit the join button, and then you have 3 levels that you can then apply for. You could either just be $1.99 a month at the BBN gang. You could be $10.99 a month as a bag swing, or you could be $49.99 a month as somebody who carries bricks in their bags. All right, let's get back to it. I didn't really want to spend too much time on that. Anyway, 1 team, 1 dream. That sounds dope. Shout out to James S. He says, shout out to you. Keep the $5 drive alive. Well, James S. just started the $5 drive. Let's see who's going to join him. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, so we've always had artists in all different genres burn out quickly. But now we have a problem where every year there's like quite a few rappers dying young. I can't say hip hop artists because there's a difference, but there's quite a few rappers dying young. There can be an argument made that Kodak Black, the most luckiest thing that happened to Kodak Black is for him to be in jail right now. There can be an argument made for that. A good argument. There could be an argument made that, if XXX would have did some time rather than be able to stay out here in the streets, that he might still be alive. There could be an argument made for that. Honestly. TK, he didn't get big until after his situation with the law happened and he dropped the song The Race. But I mean, there's a good chance that we'd be hearing about TK being now. There's a better chance than anyone else that we would be hearing about TK being, meeting an unfortunate end. Shout out to William Somerville for the donation. He said, "Remember that. Remember what? Um, there could be an argument left for that because the way TK was going, I mean, realistically speaking, if he was still out here on the street, he might not be alive right now." Another thing that y'all gotta understand is a lot of these artists don't have no control over their own life. A lot of these guys, a lot of these guys wasn't supposed to be. Pardon me. A lot of these guys don't have control over their own life. A lot of these dudes, they get these guys hooked on freaking drugs on purpose. Do y'all remember when I think it was Lil Wayne? He had 2 seizures. Supreme Duncan says people have to stop blaming music and video games for things they do. At some point, you have to take responsibility for your choices. So, are you saying, Supreme Duncan, that no one is ever influenced by the things that happen in their life? Are you saying that no one is influenced by the music they listen to? I'm gonna tell you a story. I literally had a roommate, right? And me and him had an argument one day. And you want to know what our argument totally surrounded around? I'm gonna tell you what me and my roommate's argument totally surrounded around. Him telling me rap music was real. Me and my girlfriend was sitting there while he was having this conversation, and she just looking at me, just laughing her ass off. She just couldn't hold it in no more. And he's busy telling me that rap music is real. So when you say people have to stop blaming music and video games for the things they do, at some point you have to take responsibility for your own choices, I say that there's a lot of mental illness out here in the world. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that people are influenced and at the same time say that they have to take responsibility. Wait, everybody needs to take responsibility for their own actions. But you can't say that people are influenced and at the same time say stop blaming music. Those two thoughts are contradictory. I know you don't think that they're contradictory because you said them and they actually go contradictory to one another. But you cannot say that you cannot say that people has to stop blaming music and video games and then at the same time say, I'm sure people are influenced. Those are contradictory. What are you talking about? You just said one thing and then said the opposite of that thing. You said one thing and then you said another statement proving the thing that you said the first time to be wrong. You do know that, right? Like, I'm not making anything up. I'm not making anything up and I'm not attacking you. I just want you to understand that. You said stop blaming music and video games for things people do. And then you said, I'm sure people are influenced. You do know. Doesn't matter what he's saying. You can't have it both ways. Even if you agree, you can't have it both ways. You can't say people need to stop. People need to stop acting like you can't have it both ways. I'm not even saying he's wrong. I'm saying you can't have it both ways. I'm saying people need to be held responsible for their actions. That's a fact. Nobody is saying people should not be held responsible for his actions. I don't even know why he said that. But you can't say stop blaming music and video games and then say that they're influencing people. I'm not blaming music or video games. I'm saying that they're influencing people. I'm literally saying I don't listen to some type of music because I don't want the influence. I'm literally saying that. Oh man. Oh man. Anyway, I'm literally saying that. And you're trying to propose a conversation to go contrary to what I'm saying. And then, after you propose the conversation to go contrary to what I'm saying, you make another comment 100% agreeing with what I just said. Oh, man. I just think it's funny. I think it's funny because people do that to me all the time, and then they say I can't have an opinion. So I just think it's absolutely hilarious. Anyway, now they have all youth believing this rapper fame status is obtainable. Of course, young kids are gonna do whatever they can to rap. First of all, almost anything is attainable. Um, it's what you're willing to give up. It always has to be a sacrifice of some kind made. I think I'm done with this guy. There you go. Almost anything is attainable. Could we get some bags for the Modelo Poppy guy? We done with him. Could we get some bags? Everybody could throw some bags up. Yeah, I'm done with that guy. So this drug music is being promoted directly to children who are impressionable and easily influenced. These people are making music that are directed directly at your children, and this music is about drugs, depression, and all these other adult issues. And they're directing this music to your children who are easily influenced. So please, don't tell me how a 21-year-old kid who met at one point before he was 21, he met a big star, one of the biggest stars in music named Future. Future himself said he put him on to the drug. And now you're saying at some point we gotta... No, this is a kid. This is 100% a kid. I don't know how many of y'all know people that got drug problems. I don't know how many of y'all might have had a drug problem or are still battling with drug addiction to this day. But I know quite a few people that have actually had drug problems, right? Quite a few people. I live in the Bronx. Grew up during the 80s. I don't know what to tell you. I think the generation that I grew up in is probably just more prone for weed and liquor. The generation I grew up in. We don't. A lot of the people in the generation I grew up in don't want to touch no drugs. We grew up with crackheads. All right, real crackheads. Motherfuckers, part of my language. You go find a crackhead, you can buy anything from a crackhead. Half of the stuff you buy from the crackhead probably used to be yours. Okay? So I grew up in that era. People don't even want to use drugs. You understand what I'm saying? That's the number one reason why I had some weirdos talking about I smoke crack. And I'm looking like, have you ever met a crackhead before? First of all, I got like 20 pair of Jordans. If I smoke crack, I wouldn't even have 5 pair of Jordans. What the hell? If I had a drug problem, I wouldn't have. I don't even. Anyway, the point being is. The point being is. These artists, Little Peep, right? How old is Little Peep? What's his fan base? Look, we're going to go over these names again. And you tell me. Crackheads are, I got like 20 pair of Jordans, man. Come on, man. I don't even want to discuss it. Anyway, we're gonna go to the. Sometimes I just like to point out like the lies. That's it. Anyway, we moving past that. Anyway, I don't know Lil Snoop. That was the individual that he was with. Dream Chasers, I believe. I don't think he was putting out drug music, so I'm not talking about him as far as this is concerned. But he was most likely putting out violent music, like a shoot up a block, all type of stuff like that, right? Um, then you got Juice World. He was making music that was talking about drugs. What do you think? Uh, what do you think they was aiming his music towards? Like the demographic, children, young kids. I don't know Speaker Knockers. XXX, I know him, but I don't know his fan base is what I'm saying. XXX Tentacion, he died at 20. What do you think they was aiming the music he was making at? You understand what I'm saying? Children. You feel me? Um, L.A. Capone, all about violence. Who you think was listening to his type of music? Children. You get what I'm saying? And this is not a knock on them. I'm not disrespecting none of these people. I just want to explain something to you. That we have this proliferation of music that we don't want our children to listen to, that the industry is directing directly at our music, at our children. Now, with all that being said, you know how many artists that probably was making music that would be good and fun and happy for the kids and didn't even get a look. People talk about Little Mama, right? Is her name Little Mama? I think her name is Little Mama, right? But she was making Missy Elliott type music, the happy go dance music. You feel me? She was making music like that, right? Where the Little Mamas at? Why not almost every single female that comes out now has to make a music about something about something about um sleeping with men. Something about how you a hot girl. Why everything got to be about a hot girl now? Why? Stripping, hot girl, getting over on a man for money, how much weed you smoke, how you don't need a man. This is the music that the females now are dropping. '90s, best era for music. I don't care what nobody say. Do they have songs in the '90s that I'm like, I don't think people should be listening to? Absolutely. But as an overall catalog for the whole entire decade, '90s, best music, in my opinion. And my favorite rapper was out in the '80s. So that goes to show you. You're right, Zoe, but we're not going to let that go through. I know you were. No, we're not letting that go through. Who let that go through? We're just going to remove it. But you are right. Popping of the cat was what the music is about. It's a fact. We don't have R&B no more. R&B is hip hop. We don't have R&B no more. R&B doesn't exist. There's a couple of artists that still make R&B music. Um, you see Chris Brown make R&B music from time to time, and that's one of the reasons why he's still one of the best artists out. Douglas Samuel, shout out to Douglas Samuel. Haven't seen you in a very long time, my brother. He said people with depression and anxiety shouldn't smoke. And then he put salvia, I think that's supposed to say. Strains of weed and strong weeds is what they want. Makes it worse for them. Drives them mad. I believe you. Appreciate you too, T. Andre. Yeah, we don't have love songs no more. We don't have the new additions out here, even though new additions the 80s. We don't have the everything's pumps in the rump, pumps in the rump. I think I said that right. I don't know if I said that right. Humps in the bump. I don't know what that some shit like that. But that's the only type of music that we have. You feel me? We don't have the love your woman music. We don't have the be a good husband music. We don't have the love your man music. We don't have a be a good woman music. We don't that music don't exist anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It don't exist. We don't have music about love. We have music about sexual gratification. Period. And every once in a while, and I'm talking about in hip hop, because in other genres of music, they still make music about love. They still make music about being a good woman. They still make music about being a good man. In other genres of music, just not in the music that we listen to that they try to pass off as hip hop, pop music that doesn't exist. You know what happened if one of these artists, one of these female rap artists, come out with a song about being a good woman? That might be the end of her career. Bruno Mars is the closest we have. That's a fact. But he does pop music. He doesn't do hip. He doesn't do hip hop. Yeah, Jodeci. We don't have the Jodecis. We don't have the Boys to Men no more. They don't exist. Yeah, if a female comes out and makes a song and it's not about how she's either better than a man, don't need a man, is gonna bang all the men, only want men for money, um, has a drug problem. Like these are the only things. Find me a song. Find me a song that came out in the last year that isn't about one of those five things. She don't. She's stronger than a man. Don't need a man. F men. Um, sleeping with everybody. Um, stealing money from men. Name me a song that doesn't fall inside of that category. Girl sleeping with another girl. Name me a song, please. So wait, what? I'm not sure what Lion is talking about, but I'm pretty sure Lion that just because somebody isn't saying something the way that you want them to say it doesn't mean that that's not what they're saying. You just need to probably brush up on your nuances of the English vocabulary, of the English language, just in general. You need to brush up on that. They haven't released cause of his death yet, but somebody said they saw him popping some pills on the plane. Uh, so it could be argued. Also, whenever you hear about somebody having like a heart attack, a young person having like a heart attack or something like that, a young person having a stroke or a seizure or something like that, and they don't have a history of strokes or seizures or anything like that, there's a good chance that it was caused by a drug. But yeah, definitely. Like this is what's going on. This is literally what's going on. You have individuals who are making music that's polluting our youngsters. They know what they doing. Don't get this confused. When that guy makes that music about drinking lean and popping pills, they know they're encouraging the youth to do this. They know it. They know that there's a good chance that they might not have a music career if they didn't encourage the youth to destroy themselves. What up, Joel? More than Baby and Family and Jack Frost. Maybe he was taking seizure medicine and pain medicine because you said he was having, no, he said he was having a kidney problem. I think he was having a kidney problem from the lean. Lean destroys your organs. You do know this. Told them Juice had taken several unknown pills. According to law enforcement, several members of Juice's team aboard the flight, which landed around 1 a.m. Sunday, told them Juice had taken several unknown pills prior to the seizure, which led to him getting rushed to the hospital. Please show me where somebody said he only took one pill. I'm so just so we can be clear, Humble Reform, show me where they said he only took one pill. All right. There's no pill for kidney failure. Who said there's a pill for kidney failure? What I'm saying is, I don't know who said whatever that is. What I'm saying is that when you have a lean problem, when you have a problem with lean, that could destroy your organs in general, your liver, your kidneys. What did What up, Felicia Kelly? What did Felicia Kelly's about to say something crazy. She said, "Love your show, bro," and then the next thing she's gonna be like, "You're a BS N word." I'm like, "Oh man, why?" Anyway, I don't know if she's gonna do that. Anyway, what did Chief Keef cousin die from? Chief Keef cousin. What did Chief Keef cousin pass away from? Y'all remember Chief Keef cousin, right? Fredo. What did Fredo pass away from? Kidney. Seizures. What did Fredo say that he have a problem with? Fredo came out publicly and said he had a problem with lean. What are we talking about? We're talking about we're talking about um Juice World possibly having a lean addiction and problem, specifically because, well, first of all, yesterday, before I even found out that Future said that he put him on to lean. We did a live yesterday in the laundromat. And I told y'all, and I was speaking about it as if we was talking about lean. This is before I even knew what kind of drug it was that he had taken. Because I didn't know that he had a drug problem. I don't listen to his music. I also didn't know that Future came out and said that he helped him get on drugs. I didn't hear none of that at this point. But what I did know is he's a young man. I heard his did I hear the song at that point? No, I didn't even hear the song. He's a young man. They said that he was coughing up blood. He was coughing up blood, right? He had a seizure. He was coughing up blood. He's 21 years old. He has no history of seizures. Obviously, it was from drug use. The only drug I could think of on the top of my head when I seen it was happening, the first drug that came to me was lean. So now they're saying he was popping pills. They don't even know what kind of pills he was popping. Then after the fact, I heard about that he had a kidney problem or whatever the case was. So now you're trying to tell me he has a kidney problem. He's popping some kind of pills on the plane. He gets off of the plane. He starts bleeding from his mouth, coughing up blood or whatever the hell was going on. I don't think it's difficult to put two and two together. Period. If you remember, Fredo even said that he wanted to get off of the lean or whatever the case was. Fredo wanted to get off of the lean and it was too late because he had already caused too much damage to his internal organs. I'm gonna tell you what be happening. I think that y'all keep talking about this organ harvesting that people was doing. You don't think there might be a couple of these artists that got these lean problems that might be getting some of these organs from these little kids, and that's why they not talking about it? That's why they not talking about how the human trafficking. You don't think so? I think I'm gonna start playing a little bit of music in the background while we. You don't think so? Only reason why my lives are able to be like this is because we kick out people who don't belong. George Strait, I think their name is. Wait, not George Strait. Felicia Kelly. We kick out people who come in here. We kick the trolls out. We kick out people that don't belong. If you look at the messages, there's always going to be people that's going to be coming in here trying to. But generally speaking, we kick out the people that don't belong. Period. That's the only reason why we're able to have conversations. Filthy Rich is having kidney problems due to lean use. He's quit rapping to help quit. He says he's AR now at Empire. Yo, you have to. Don't nobody want the organs from them rappers? Nobody don't want the rappers' organs. The rappers are taking the organs of healthy people. This is man. See, this is why I just be wanting to just get rid of people. Like, dude. Like, there's a point where some comments are just so stupid, you have to assume that the person is just saying something that don't make sense on purpose. And then they wonder why they get kicked. Nobody don't got time for that. I'm going to shout out the dude's name so everybody can look at his comments. The guy, George Strait. Oh, I think he's trying to make fun of me because it's hard for me to say the word straight. So he's absolutely a troll. There you go. Go get another account and come back. Can we get some bags for George? It's speculated that the Rothschilds had up to 10 hearts, so a few assume a rapper could get a few. You got these rappers, right? Let me explain something. You got rappers out here that's making like $1 million in a year, right? 800,000 a year, right? 900,000 a year, right? But they're making like 20 million for somebody, 30 million for somebody, and they only pulling in like 1 million, 900,000, 500,000, but they making 30, 40 million, 30, 40 million for some company over the course of 1 year. 10, 15, 20 million for a company, and they only pulling in like 150,000, 200,000 of their own money that they get to keep. You don't think that company is going to make sure that you need kidneys? We're going to get you some. You need lungs? We're going to get you some. That's just a way to look at it. You feel me? I had two experiences with trying to. Well, I had one experience where I was actually there, meeting some upper echelon individuals to get a record deal. And I'm not gonna call no names, but I'm gonna say, yo, before I went to one of the meetings, my cousin said to me, he said, yo, don't get upset. He said, but these dudes, a lot of these record industry guys are have ulterior motives. So he said, don't get upset. He said, um, they might make a pass at you. Cousin told me that right off the rip. So I go to the thing. Of course, I believe in God. What kind of shit is that? So I go to the event where we go to meet the record execs, and I meet the record execs. And some weird shit happened. Some weird shit is attempted. I never go back. That's it. I'm done with these dudes. That was the moment when I decided, you know what? The music industry ain't for me because I'm not willing to do anything to win. I'm not willing to sell my own soul. I'm not willing to do like I'm straight. So I don't really care. Like I'm not like you can do whatever you want. But I personally know there is nothing that you can there's no way that I would ever do anything with another man. That's just not happening. You understand what I'm saying? But if you choose to, that's your choice. Right? So I say all that to say this. So Adrian Thomas, ain't seen you in a while, my dude. I say that to say this. You have a lot of these artists that they have to do a lot of stuff in order to be able to get these deals they got. Some of the things that they got to do is hard to live with. Supreme Duncan said, I've heard there's a lot of gay people in rap music, but they keep it quiet. First of all, if anybody decides that they want to be gay, that's their own choice. We are not here. Soda absolutely causes kidney damage. Drinking too much soda could actually get you kidney stones. That's a whole fact. Um, I'm not here to speak negatively about people that choose whatever lifestyle that you choose. All right, you can have whatever lifestyle you want. Yes, I have heard that there's a lot of homosexuality, a lot of homosexuals in the music industry. I've also heard that you can't be certain tier rappers unless you get involved in certain antics. There was an interview that N.O.R.E had did a while ago. I forgot if it was N.O.R.E or Fat Joe. It was one of them, right? So they're doing the interview. It could have been N.O.R.E interviewing Fat Joe. That's what I think it was. It was N.O.R.E interviewing Fat Joe. So in the interview, Fat Joe's talking, and I think it's N.O.R.E talking. I just think it's N.O.R.E talking for some strange reason. And he's like, yo, you could go 3 routes. There's 3 roads you could take. He said, trying to become a rapper in the music industry, there's 3 different routes you could take, right? He said, one route that you could take is you could go with them boys, and on the sacrifice shit. He said, but he left that alone. He didn't want to talk about that. He said another route you could take is you can go with the other guys on, the gay shit, doing homosexual stuff. And he said, but there's a third road. He said the third road is if you're 8 years old, then you don't need to be in here. Peace. He said there's a third road. There's a third road. Anybody that's 8 years old don't deserve to be in here, and you got terrible parents because you should be in school. Your parents is failing you. So there's a third road, he said. He said in the third road, you do everything by yourself. Nobody's getting in your way. Nobody's trying to stop you. You know, nobody's trying to like throw stuff out there to hurt you. You just got to do it all on your own. Now I'm explaining something. Remember a while back? Remember it was a while back when all of those female rappers was claiming, I don't know how true it is. I mean, I've heard it was true, but I'm not saying it is or isn't. But they was claiming that Nicki Minaj was stopping their bags. Remember? It was a lot of female rappers. It was quite a few female rappers that was coming out talking about Nicki Minaj is trying to stop their bags. Remember? That's because those female rappers was trying to go the route without the industry. They was trying to work on their own. They wasn't trying to go the route of the sacrifice or go the route of the doing the, you know, the sexual favors thing. I'm not saying that this stuff is the truth. I'm saying that there was an interview with Fat Joe and N.O.R.E, and they spoke on this. And I'm talking about it through the vacuum of what they was discussing. Right? So talking about that inside of the vacuum of what they was discussing, think about you not wanting, so you can understand why some of these people are really hurt if Nicki Minaj really did do this. Imagine you not wanting to go the sacrifice route if that's a thing. Imagine you not wanting to go the sexual favors route if that's a thing. And then imagine you working your butt off trying real hard just for a rapper like a Nicki Minaj. I'm not saying that she did, but like a Nicki Minaj, then screwing you over. Yeah, it was old Drink Champs though. I think it was like this interview was like 4 or 5 years ago. You have an individual that goes and fucks up your flow when you Cardi B said Nicki Minaj did it also, just so we can be clear. You're right. Cardi B, I don't know if Cardi B is getting accused of it herself, but Cardi B did say that Nicki Minaj was doing it. Remy Ma said Nicki Minaj was doing it. So just so we can be clear, throw some names out there. These are the people that said that she had done these things in the past. I'm not saying she did. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm saying think about it. You got an artist trying their hardest in order to win, not going the industry route, because I keep hearing people say stay independent, not going the industry route, and then you got another individual stopping a bag, preventing them from being able to do. I believe the allegation was Nicki Minaj told some radio station that if they have, I think Remy or Cardi or somebody up on their station, then Nicki Minaj is never going to do any interviews with them. If you notice now, Nicki Minaj has her own radio station. I mean, her own radio show. Because I guess at one point that flew, and then it just became a point where that don't fly no more. They say that's what happened with Snow, the product. She wrote a lot of Cardi B, wrote a lot for Cardi B, refused to rap about the same thing. They never pushed her. She left Atlantic with completely independent. Yeah, Queen Radio. Queen Radio is just a show. It's not, I don't think so. You should always be competing with the people over you. The people over you shouldn't always be competing with you. But I'm not gonna say that because I don't really compete with anyone. But I can understand the dynamic of somebody under you wanting to compete with you. But competing with somebody and bad mouthing them are two different things. If you competing with somebody just means you talking shit about them, that's not really competing with them. That's just trying to destroy them. Competing with somebody is trying to create a better product than they're creating. Period. Um, yep, Nicki did get Remy's diss track taken off of all platforms. Or should I say, Remy's diss track was taken off of all platforms around the time that Nicki was dating Nas. That's a whole fact. You ain't lying. Yes, Juice WRLD passed away. That's a whole fact. You ain't lying. No. Jonathan Sanchez. Shout out to Jonathan Sanchez. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm not questioning what you're saying. I'm just adding nuance. If that's fair, I'm adding nuance. Or at least I'm speaking about it the way that I'm interpreting it. But you know, you could feel about it however you want to feel about it. Um, I do believe there are a lot of artists that do it. That's a fact. And I think that the Remy diss on Nikki, I don't think no female in the game should try to battle Remy. Period. Like, that don't even make sense. I don't think that any female in the game could win a battle with Remy. A straight up battle with Remy, I don't think it's possible. No female in the game. You might be able to make a better song than Remy, right? You might be able to make better music than Remy, since we don't really do hip hop nowadays. A lot of this shit is pop music. So you might be able to make a better pop song than Remy, but you're not gonna make better hip hop than Remy, and thus you are not gonna beat her in a battle rap. Later, Jenny. Enjoy your day. If that makes any sense. You're not gonna beat Remy in a battle rap, and you're not gonna make better hip hop than Remy. Don't Remy got that song CC with her husband, Clout Chasers? The shit is dope. And Sheetha was ridiculous. Lady Luck's years probably just passed, though. Lady Luck, she was doing her thing back in the day. That's a fact. Remy can't make Remy don't make pop music. And since nowadays how pop your music is determinant on how good the song is, then okay, she can't make a good song because she doesn't make pop music. She makes hip hop. And even if she even tries to make pop music, it doesn't sound right because she makes hip hop. Remy makes hip hop. Remy is somebody we need to start supporting. Supporting. What's up, HBZ Inc? Remy is an artist we should be supporting. Like supporting. If people realistically want to get these hot girls up out of here with their music, you gotta support the real. Remy's the real. I'm not one of those people that like standing around thinking the only way a female could do something good is if a man helped her. We don't know if Papoose helped her with her lyrics or not. But if you're with somebody that raps and y'all rap all the time, you're probably going to be good at it on your own. If you want to become good at something, hang around somebody who is good at it and y'all do it all day. You will become good at it. That's a fact. I'm going to give a real quick example. People didn't think Scottie Pippen was Scottie Pippen didn't get all that praise. Then what happened? He got on the same team with Jordan. They started going back and forth every day at practice. Scottie Pippen got nicer. First of all, Rim from the Bronx, yo. And I'm going to say something, especially to people that have never been to the Bronx, so you don't know. But in the Bronx, I turned the beat off a little. In the Bronx, that's my music. I need to play my music. Somebody might try to. I got another music. I'm going to start getting a different one. In the Bronx, she's just dripping BX. Like, so a lot of this, like, I can go through a litany of different rap artists, different actors, different directors and everything that you didn't even know that was from the Bronx. And if I start listing the name like Robert De Niro, start listing the names, yeah, that's my beat. That's me. Shout out to Mike Jones. Mike Jones made the beat for me. If I start listing the people that came from the Bronx that you was like, they from the Bronx? Yeah, they from the Bronx. There's a lot of source come from the Bronx, yo. Your boy Braun. All right. Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm just not even letting that message go through. That was kind of weird. We grew up with this shorty, right? My cousin had this girlfriend, right? And we grew up well, like she was around us when we was young, and we used to freestyle and rap all day, every day, and she was nice. She does battle rap now. I'm not gonna call her name, but she does battle rap now apparently. And she when she first came to us, when she first started coming and hanging around the clique, she was like, "Alright," you know what I'm saying? She wasn't bad, she wasn't good. And after hanging around with us for a while, being around us when we be in our ciphers, we used to be rapping all the time. After a while, Jimmy Walker's from the Bronx. It's a fact. Jimmy Walker's actually from around uh Concourse Village. He's from, I believe he's from, I think he's from actually he's from like Jackson Projects, ain't he? Something like that. So wait, what up, King Loopy? I know you, King Loopy. What was her name? All right, so which one of my cousins she used to date? Jim Jones is from the Bronx. It's a fact. Nah, I don't think. Wait, what's her name? Erica what? Like I don't know. I'm not sure 100% who you talking about. I don't think her name is Erica though. But I don't know what she go by right now. I don't know what she goes by right now. I forgot what she goes by. I haven't seen her in a couple of years. But so when you around somebody that does something, especially if y'all do it all the time, you're gonna get better. You feel me? That one time Jennifer Lopez came and shot a video in the Bronx, but they had like a gate so nobody could get next to her. But a lot of people have done that. They bashed Jennifer Lopez for. Oh nah, I don't think her name was Erica. I forgot what her Erica name was. Hold on. Oh shit. But the person you called has a voice. Being that who brought Bob Kane, the creator of Batman. His parents was immigrants from Italy. I didn't even know he was from the Bronx. Shout out to that. He was raised on 149th in the Grand Concourse. The total idea of Bruce Wayne life actually, wow, I did not even know that. Shout out to Bob Kane. Yeah, we gave that person their bags. I don't know why people want me to. We're not getting into that. I don't even care. We're not even discussing that. How about that? I'm just so hated. Um, Ralph Lauren came from the Bronx. I didn't even know, but that just goes to show, like the Bronx got a lot of sauce. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was listening to some people talking the other day, and they was talking about how the people from Brooklyn used to come to the Bronx, trying to rob the people that was hustling in the Bronx because the Bronx always had hustlers. Kimba comes from the Bronx. I actually know people that know Kimba personally. Jack Frost, he's from the Bronx. You're a funny guy. You're very funny, HBZ. I'm not. I'm no one to be. I'm no one. Yeah, yo. I'm just still a regular guy, man. I'm just a regular guy. And the Bronx was where hip hop was created. This is where it was originated from. And I think Al Pacino's from the Bronx and Robert De Niro, both of them. I did not know. But there's a lot of people come from the Bronx. Another thing people got to understand, right? Another people got to understand, right? And this is not a knock on anywhere or nothing like that, right? Oh, Robert De Niro is from BK, so it's Al Pacino. I was thinking I mix those guys up all the time, but I could have swore Robert De Niro went to Clinton High School. I could have swore he went to Clinton. I could be wrong. He went to elementary school in Manhattan, so I guess that don't matter. Hold on, I just want to sort of clarify this real quick. What the fuck? Rhodes Preparatory School. That's where he went. All right. So Al Pacino is the one who went to Hold on. I know somebody who went to DeWitt Clinton. How about that? Now I'm curious about this. I'm just curious about this. So I'm sorry about this, y'all. We're gonna find out what school Al Pacino went to. I mean, we're gonna find out which one of them went to Truman. I mean, Clinton. Flex is from Westchester. That's a fact.
Hello?
Yo, what up, yo? We on live.
Yeah,
You
what's up?
busy? I already know you at work. Yo, which one of them went to Clinton? Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
Neither one was the Clinton that I know about. They
Okay.
were both born and raised in New York, but neither one went to Clinton, I think.
And which one was from the Bronx?
I don't know. I would have to look that up. I really don't know off the top of my head. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna let you get back to work. Appreciate you.
Alright.
Yeah. So one of them went to Clinton. I don't. He went to Clinton. That's what I called him. One of them went to Clinton. I just can't put my finger on which one of them went to Clinton. I thought one of them went to Clinton. Maybe I'm wrong. It is what it is. I'm wrong about stuff sometimes. Anyway, there's a new hip hop museum on 149th by the Grand Concourse. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe we all check it out. I hate the fact that my phone could hear what the hell I'm saying all the time. So when I start typing stuff in, it's already there. It so pisses me off. You have no idea. I'd be like, the shit is just listening to everything I'm doing. It pisses me off so much. Um, that's a museum now? It's a fucking gas station. Huh. Okay. That is a museum now. No, that's Bronx Terminal Market. That's Hostos College. I don't know. Now I'm looking for the damn museum. I don't see this shit. Anyway, maybe we go to the museum. By Gauchos. Maybe we go to the museum. Yes, this dope fiend culture is crazy. Definitely back to Juice World. That's a whole fact. I don't know how to say your name. Q. The word legends gets thrown around too much. They saying Juice WRLD is a legend. No, he's not a legend. A Boogie is from the Bronx. It's a fact. He said A Buggy. I just watched De Niro. He from Manhattan, Little Village. Pacino's from the Bronx. There we go. Al Pacino. I know it was one of them. Hey, what's up, Blackout Podcast? How you doing? Um, Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, everybody. I need 1 second. Right back. Sorry about that, y'all. Nature called. Um, no big problems from the X. There's an argument that rap was going on in all hoods, but the Bronx got it put on first. No, that's not accurate. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna explain a couple of reasons why the Bronx is the home of hip hop. Um, Rap's been around since like the 70s. All right, so you want to know the first actual hip hop DJ? I have a video out on Cool Herc. Go check it out. I don't want this to be a. Go check out this video right here on Cool Herc. I'm gonna put you on. This should answer any questions anybody has about where hip hop started. How long is this video? It's a 4-minute video. Go check the video out. Go check the video out when you get a chance. No, I went to Truman. I went to Harry S. Truman. When you get a chance, go check the video out. It's like a 4-minute video. It's gonna pass like that, and it's a breakdown of basically why there's now a hip hop, I believe, street or a hip hop boulevard, and it's in the Bronx. It's on 1520 Cedric Avenue. Look, I put hip hop street. This is what came up. Everybody, put hip hop street in your phone. Watch what comes up. I put hip hop street. That's what came up. 1520 Cedric Avenue. That's where Kool Herc lived. So I'm not gonna go into that whole thing. You could go check out the video. Video is about 4 minutes long. You'd appreciate it. Anyway, I gotta go back to making videos like that. That's a whole fact. Anyway, we're gonna call it a day. We almost 2 hours in. We gotta go. Look, I appreciate all of y'all. Somebody said something about this. We're gonna go out with this. Somebody was talking about this drug culture that we live in. I want to use their verbiage. I want to use their words specifically because I think that they said it just the right way. Wait, somebody says Nipsey is a legend because he dead, not because he influenced the culture heavy. Honestly, Juice WRLD is a legend because he influenced the culture. But in a way, no, that's not why. Juice WRLD is not a legend at all, and Nipsey is not a legend because he's dead. I was gonna actually talk about what you just but that comment is so far off that I'm not gonna waste my time. This shit is destroying our youth, making it drugged out crackhead. I don't know why you're saying crackhead, but okay. I think opium, that morphine stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's worse. To be honest with you, I've never used either which one of those drugs, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. But the dope fiend culture. Um, we do live in a culture that is a dope fiend culture. This is a factual statement in my opinion. That's the one comment that you made that I'm gonna agree with. All the other comments that you made, Q, is just I don't know if you're just trying to argue or I'm not gonna debate them because I don't want to make you look bad. Be honest with you. Well, first of all, there's a couple of criteria to being a legend, and one of the things is the impact that you have. All right, so the Juice WRLD did not impact my life in zero ways. Right, Nipsey Hussle has impacted my life. I didn't even listen to his music. I didn't follow the guy, but I literally knew who he was. I knew who Nipsey Hussle was 6, 7 years ago, but I didn't even know who he was. I don't know no way to explain that better. Eminem is not the original influencer. Stop it. All these drug rappers are not Eminem babies. That's incorrect. Lil Wayne was out before Eminem, and Lil Wayne and them was doing that lean stuff before Eminem. What up, Bronx Bread? Told you wasn't kicked. I did not know. I'm going to explain this one more time. Juice WRLD had no impact on my life. Zero. Nipsey Hussle had an impact on my life. I didn't listen to neither one of their music. I just started listening to Nipsey's music, which is actually really good. I didn't listen to neither one of those music, but I knew who Nipsey Hussle was, even though I had no idea who Nipsey Hussle was. When I hear every Nipsey Hussle interview that I heard him speaking at, he sounded like a grown man. He sounded like he was somebody who was trying to encourage people to be the best person that they could be. Because as we all know, when you're encouraging other people to be the best person that they could be, at that moment, you're being the best person that you could be. This is what Nipsey Hussle did. I've heard Nipsey Hussle speak about people who were enemies of his and not engage in hate speech. That's difficult. I've heard Nipsey Hussle speak about self-improvement in a way that I've seen very few other people be able to articulate. The problem here is people want to decide whether Nipsey Hussle is a legend or not dependent on music. Martin Luther King didn't make music. He's a legend. Malcolm X, he didn't make music. He's a legend. Sometimes we can have a social impact that can be so strong that it doesn't matter what our day job is. Our impact on society actually has more weight than our impact in our day job. The problem is, as black people, we're always only seen as what we do. Will Smith, he's an actor, rapper. Dr. Dre, he's a DJ, producer. These guys are still men, fathers, family men, uncles, grandfathers. The problem is that when you're a black man, you're only seen as what you do. You're only seen as what you do for a living. And no matter how great you are at something else, if you're not great at that thing or acknowledged as being great at that thing that you do for a living, you're not appreciated. That's the issue. That's the issue and that's the problem. Now, I don't know what kind of impact Juice WRLD has had specifically to the actual genre of music other than the music that he's put out, which I don't even generally know. But I do know that when I heard Nipsey Hussle speak, I heard a man speak about how we need to do better in our communities, about how us as men need to start carrying ourselves as such, how the women in our communities need to be supported by the men in our communities and also support the men in our communities. I heard a lot of family values. Now, if you don't think that that's notable, if you don't think that a person at his stature and in a degree, and also if you don't think that this mindset is what helped hold him back in his actual career, that I don't know what I can or can't do for you. Look at the artists that they're pushing out there. They're pushing artists with drug problems. They're pushing artists that talk about killing everything. They're pushing artists that go out there talking about raping women. To say, oh, also artists that talk about treating women like garbage. To say that a man is not a legend because he refuses to do all of those things, and then his last album that he drops is a freaking classic. That just goes to show that a lot of people don't appreciate real people. A lot of people, they just want to glamorize fake shit in society. And they want people to see the fake shit in society as the real shit in society. That's what I see. Nipsey Hussle is absolutely a legend. The man died, and did you see what the world did? The world mourned. The world didn't mourn like, oh, I'm sad that that happened to him. The world mourned like, this is not acceptable. So you could have your choice of thinking that Nipsey Hussle is not a legend and Juice WRLD is. That's fine. That's your opinion. But the people who we recognize as individuals that we need to hold up and give them their praise, that's telling other individuals who you are specifically as a person. Don't forget this. If you come across a Caucasian man that says Martin Luther King is one of the greatest individuals of my lifetime, of this generation, of that generation. He's one of the greatest people to live the last 100 years. You're gonna look at that Caucasian man a certain way. A person like me, I'm gonna look at that Caucasian man like a brother. Now, if you have the same person that listens to music and says, Juice WRLD is a legend, but Nipsey Hussle not so much. I'm gonna look at what Juice WRLD has done for the culture, not for this pop music thing, because Juice WRLD doesn't make hip hop; he makes pop music, so I can't really look at that. And I'm gonna look at what Nipsey Hussle has done for the culture. To me, I think Nipsey Hussle has done so much more for the culture. I don't even think that there's a comparison. But you are fair in your Q. I don't know how to say your name. Qualis Artivex. I don't know how to say that. But it's your right to think that Nipsey Hussle is not a legend and that Juice WRLD is. You can idolize people with drug problems, and people that don't have drug problems think that they're not worth your time. That's your choice. Nipsey Hussle bought the block that the police was trying to kick all the minorities off of, and then told the minorities they can stay. That's one of the most legendary, dopest shits I've ever heard in my life. There's a block that the whole entire city don't want minorities on no more. They tell the people that own the whole block that if minorities come in the area, then you got to call the police so we can get rid of them. And Nipsey Hussle says, screw that. I'm just going to buy the whole block so everybody can stay doing whatever the hell it is that they doing. We're not going to allow this oppression. That right there is one of the most dopest shits I've ever heard of a person doing. Buying a whole block just so a community of people could continue living their life without oppression. So you think Juice WRLD gotta had a... Now, I'm not trying to bash Juice WRLD neither, but I'm just stating the fact. I just don't think Juice WRLD is a legend. You think that Juice WRLD had a higher influence on youth, so that's what makes him a legend? So that doesn't make no sense. So our youth decides who our legends are now. Not the older people who have had some kind of, you know what, the show's over. I don't know, I'm done. I'm done. We was already just ending the show now for nothing. But there's just, at this point, I think I'm getting dumb about a minute. Anyway, look, I love y'all. Everybody enjoy y'all day. I want everybody to just positive thoughts, man. Too bad what happened to Juice WRLD and to his family. He did the thing to himself. So, sorry that happened to Juice WRLD's family, the people that love him, that they're gonna miss him. We have a bad problem in America, and it's drug use. And if these rappers are promoting drug use, I cannot feel bad for them when they fall victim to it. I can't feel bad for their families and friends that will miss them. That's a fact. But I can't feel bad for a person who puts a gun to their head and shoots themselves. And if you got an opioid problem, if you're choosing to drink lean, if you're choosing to pop pills, you're choosing to die early. Period. There is like no other. You're choosing to die early. And if that's your choice, I'm not going to stop you. Because, hey, what could I do to stop you? But I'm also not going to act like you're a legend. I'm also not going to pretend like you didn't do it to yourself. Let's keep our kids away from the drugs. This is a learning moment. This is a learning moment. Every single person that has a kid, they need to expose their kid to the fact. Every single time one of these artists pass away through overdosing, drug use, you need to expose these kids to this. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't know a dude that I grew up with. Well, I think I know one. I really think I know one. But I don't really know anybody that I grew up with in my age group that smokes crack. You want to know why? Because we witnessed and saw with our own eyes how those crackheads was walking up and down the block every day like zombies. And not all crackheads were zombies, but there was enough. There was enough people in our own families that we saw struggling with the addiction. I don't know how much I could explain to you how I don't even like taking pain meds from the doctors. I put a chainsaw through my leg a couple of years ago. Right here. I refused to take the medicine that they was giving us because I was scared. Let's educate our children on drug use and stop acting like all drugs are the same. Because you want to know why a lot of people started smoking crack? Because they believed that crack and weed were the same thing. They didn't think it was a big deal. Stop allowing for the government to trick people into thinking that weed is the gateway drug. So all drugs are as bad as weed. So because then what happens is the kid smokes weed and then the kid says, oh, this ain't so bad. And then they take it up another level. I think because of the war on drugs, the whole war on drugs thing that was going on in the 80s, I think that actually encouraged a lot of people into drug use. Because they were just flat out saying things that were not correct in order to try to scare people. Anyway, yo, look, I love y'all. Everybody enjoy y'all day. Hit that like button on your way out if you don't mind. Everybody enjoy y'all day. Let's try to encourage other people to be the best them that they could be. Because at that moment, we're being the best us that we could be. It's not just about winning. All right? It's not just about winning. It's about creating an environment so that our children have something better than what we had when we were their age. So just like we want our children to have a better things when they're children, we also want our children to live a better adulthood than we're living. And the only way to do that is by helping to shape the world into being a better place. Stop spending so much time on hate. Stop spending this. I can't tell you what to do with your free time, but stop spending so much time on these hate channels. Stop spending so much time on going on IG to hate people. Stop spending so much time and putting bullshit out into the world, because that same bullshit you putting out into the world is going to come back to you sooner or later. And when it comes back, it might be crippling. Anyway, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.